I absolutely refuse to throw organic matter into the trash. There's probably no better way to insult farmers, chefs, the earth, and waste all kinds of money with a single action. It has literally been decades since I put organic matter into a plastic bag and taken it to the dump to be buried in a landfill. Food scraps, leaves, grass clippings, brush, paper, that stuff is way too valuable on the homestead to just throw away. But it needs to be handled in the right manner. In case you're wondering, handling in the right manner means burying in horse manure. Fresh horse manure, the fresher the better, is pretty much a cure-all for compost. I would bet a substantial amount of money, and I'll give you really good odds, that I can make anything that was once alive disappear with enough horse manure. In fact, while I haven't made the leap yet, I've contemplated getting miniature horses from a guy up the road who breeds them. I don't want them to do anything except eat the grass and excrete the most wonderful composting feedstock. If you have horse manure, every "don't compost proteins and dairy" warning you've ever read in any composting book, blog, or website is just not applicable. I wasn't exaggerating before. I can literally get rid of anything organic if I have horse manure, and I have the certification to prove it. I was fortunate enough this spring to be able to attend the Maine Compost School. This is the oldest compost school in the country, and the guys that put on this week-long workshop are some of the best in the world. Literally. When massive chicken CAFOs are forced to kill all their birds due to some avian disease, they call these guys. When a whale dies on a beach, and the oceanographers and biology students are done studying it, they call these guys. They can make a recipe that will work for any situation, no matter what you have to work with. It's pretty incredible, actually. But, given the choice, they would all prefer to have unlimited amounts of horse manure. If it's good enough for them, it's good enough for me. I've always known horse manure was a great medium with which one could compost. But, after attending Maine Compost School, I'm refining my technique to try to get better, higher temperatures. However, all you really need to know to compost effectively on the homestead is get yourself some fresh horse manure. Every time you add food scraps, weeds, or other garden residue to the compost pile, cover it in several inches of fresh horse manure. It doesn't matter what the food scraps are. Steak bones, no problem. Spoiled milk, pour it in. Lobster shells, coffee grounds, yogurt, cereal, whatever. Just be sure to cover it with several inches of fresh horse manure. You will not have pests, odors, or flies. If you do, you need more horse manure. It's as simple as that. I can absolutely compost and get high temperatures without horse manure. My record, using nothing but grass, weeds, hay, and leaves, is 152 degrees Fahrenheit. But horse manure makes everything easier. You get higher temperatures that stay high longer, and you get an amazing product with less turning. You still have to turn it. Compost is work like anything else on the homestead, but I've found I don't need to turn it as many times, which means I can be off doing something else and still have a great compost at the end of the process. I consider horse manure to be an incredibly valuable resource. I use it to generate heat to start my seedlings in the dead of winter. I use it as a soil amendment. I use it to smother weeds. And I use it to compost. It really is a wonder I haven't got a horse. Or, for that matter, 10 horses.
What's up, bud?